Alright, so I've been playing quite a bit of Enshrouded recently, especially with this massive new update 6, and I've actually gotta say that it caught me off guard in the best way possible. You know, when a game throws you into this dark, mysterious world, and every corner you turn it feels like it's hiding something that matters. That's the feeling here. Update 6 doesn't just seem to polish things, it adds entire new systems, mechanics, enemies, biomes, and changes that make the whole experience way more dynamic and rewarding. It honestly feels like a complete experience now, and it might literally be one of the best times to jump in and try it out. The game already made waves when it launched in early access on Steam, but this update is about to throw it right back into the spotlight. Let's talk about what makes the Shroud itself so wild now, because it's not just a little scary mist anymore, it's a whole ecosystem, a dangerous, constantly shifting, and genuinely creepy one. Visually, it's had a huge upgrade. It has dense, swirling fog, eerie lightning, and strange sounds that keep you on edge. But more than that, the Shroud is now filled with Shroud layers, which are distinct points of interest guarded by new, terrifying enemies and packed with rare loot and resources. These layers feel like mini dungeons, each with its own challenge, and they're not something that you just stumble into casually. When you see one, you know something is going down. Speaking of enemies, the new additions are really nightmare fuel. You've got these floating jellyfish that drift in near silence until they just suddenly lunge at you. You've got the predator that stalks and flanks like it's playing chess with you, and the critter queen, which is one of the creepiest boss that they've ever made. And they also don't come alone. There are these tentacle beasts, spring-like floaters, fog-emitting drones, and more. It's not just that they hit hard, it's how each one fights differently, and it forces you to change tactics and adapts to your movement, and all of that becomes 10 times more intense at night, because when the sun goes down, the real madness begins in Enshrouded, especially with this update. So picture this, I'm gathering some Shroud materials, the fog starts thickening, and suddenly I'm hearing growls from somewhere that I can't see. I see some lights over there, I follow it, and boom, I'm just ambushed by a night patrol. Mutated pack of wolves flanking scavenger hounds, and it turns into a full-on brawl under the moonlight. And the kicker, if you survive, you're rewarded with rare crafting resources that only drop at night. Night isn't just for atmosphere anymore, it's a whole gameplay layer, which is amazing. There are even night temples now, gated behind special night doors that require keys crafted from materials that you can only find in the dark. Inside these night doors, you'll get puzzles, unique challenges, and vanity gear, including an amazing night theme outfit that's actually being tied into the Twitch campaign, which streamers should take note. And while you're out there at night, keep an eye out for glowing moths, rare herbs, and all sorts of strange insects. They're not just pretty, they're used to make new potions and consumables with regeneration effects. Health and mana potions now work overtime, which makes them way more strategic during longer fights. Alright, now let's talk about the weapon upgrade system, because that's where things started clicking for me. In the Shroud zones, the elite enemies now drop weapon gems, and we're talking 22 of them right now. These aren't boring stat boosts. Each one has a real gameplay impacting effect. You can completely rework your combat style or loadout based on which gems that you're using. Looting finally feels exciting again in this Enshrouded update. But here's the twist, you need to find a Shroud Forge to slot, remove, or upgrade those gems. They aren't marked on your map though, they're tucked away in dangerous zones, usually behind layers of enemies and hazards. When you find one, glowing, ominous, humming with energy, it's like discovering a relic. It's a moment and it feels earned. And while you're upgrading your gear, you might want to look good doing it. That's where the coloring station comes in. You can now tint your armor with palettes that you unlock through crafting, which match your style, your mood, or just whatever that you want. Whether you have the Haunting New Made Shroud set or the Rugged Warrior variant, you can really make it yours. There are even day and night themed armor sets now, like literal outfits built around surviving or thriving in specific conditions. It's not just visual, it's part of how you prep for what kind of run that you're about to do. All of this ties into a much larger web of progression. 28 new crafting materials, new spell options, new consumables, and even auto-gathering features to help keep your inventory stocked while you focus on surviving. It just feels smoother and deeper. The world itself now has completely leveled up as well. There are now 42 new points of interest in the Shroud, and each one feels handcrafted. We've got summoning stones zones where you can spawn elite mobs for farming, abandoned ruins, ancient libraries, lore-filled sites that expand on the backstory of Embervale, and much more. Even the surface zones got love. You've got a lot of visual overhauls across the steeps, the Kendall Waste, out beneath summits, plus new underground tunnels, new NPC camps. Oh, and let's not forget the first fan-chosen questline, which is the Dragon's Last Breath. You'll find it in the Albanese Mountains by exploring the skeletal remains of fallen dragons. It's a love letter to the community and actually adds depth to the lore in a really cool way. What I've realized is that this update actually changes your entire relationship with the world. It's not just about chasing quests, it's about planning your approach now, thinking about your build and adapting to the chaos. So if you don't have time, even those short sessions will feel like grandiose adventures. Every decision, day or night, shroud or surface, feels meaningful. So yeah, this isn't just more content for content's sake, it's meaningful progression, real discovery and actual challenge now. It breathes new life into the game and makes every part of it feel more alive, more connected and more dangerous. If you've been on the fence now about Enshrouded, or maybe you dropped off after a few sessions, I think this is a real good moment to come back. There's so much more to the game here now, and for those of you who love exploration, risk, and the thrill of uncovering secrets in a world that doesn't hold your hand, I think you're gonna love this one, especially with Update 6. There's this real sense of agency now, especially when you return to your base. Like yeah, you're out in the wild fighting predators and dodging foggers, but then you come back to this peaceful, gradually expanding village where NPCs have more functionality than ever. Another underrated detail, combat variations and enemy behaviors. It's not just that there are more enemies, it's that combat has more texture now. Some enemies bait you into attacking too early, others kite you, and some straight up drag you into bad terrain. It forces you to build gear more thoughtfully and consider status resistance, mobility, and even light radius, especially in the Shroud where visibility is practically a resource. Shroud Management is now more of a strategic layer. Before, the Shroud was mostly an environmental threat. Now it's a loot zone, a progression gate, a crafting hub, and an enemy stronghold all in one. You're no longer avoiding the Shroud, you're planning expeditions into it because that's where the real upgrades live. Anyway, that's it for now. Let me know in the comments what part of Update 6 seems the most exciting, or if you've already started diving in, what's the wildest thing that you've found so far. Now guys, please enjoy these gameplay moments. you.